the God of the breakthrough, 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 breakthrough. Still believing for a breakthrough, 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 breakthrough.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Breakthru Special Guest Podcast, the Black History Month edition. This month on the Special Guest Podcast, we will be speaking with individuals who are shaping our future in real time. Black history is not just about where we've been, it's about where we are and who we are becoming. Today, I have the privilege of sitting down with a woman who is going to share with us what she is doing, not only during Black History Month, but all year long. Ms. Serita Lewis. But before I introduce her and bring her on, I would like to read a little from her bio that's on Instagram. And it says, Philly Bolt. Meet Serita, Philly's civic engagement powerhouse and founder of UrbnSeek. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Serita Lewis is a native of Philadelphia, an educator, entrepreneur, and community change maker. As a youth advocate and community activist, she works closely with concerned citizens and leading organizations intent on making a positive impact on the world. She is the founder of UrbnSeek, a staunch believer in voter education and engagement. She is a former Democratic congressperson. While no longer in that capacity, she is still doing her part to raise the number of activated voters of color in Philadelphia. Serita created a holistic voter education program called Vote for What? Vote for What? I hope I'm saying that with the enthusiasm it has, helping to empower and educate voters of marginalized communities. So I'm going to stop right there. And I am going to introduce to our community here today, Ms. Serita Lewis. Can I call you Serita?
Of course you can. Thank you so much. Hi.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You know, I'm talking to Jackie. I'm realizing who you are. I met you at least twice.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, we have met before.
I know she gave me some names of people, and I wasn't connecting until she told me to pull her up on Instagram. Pull her up. Okay. So we are happy to have you. We are privileged to have you here today to speak on some things, and I have a few questions.
For sure.
Just reading your bio, I see that you are, that particular one didn't have it in there, but I see proud mother, youth and community activist. So we are, I'm just really intrigued because the times I met you, I know you supplied a lot of nutritious things for us in both times. You always had nutritious things there for us in the midst of something that was dealing with youth, our youth program, and then the other one, it was a youth program in the park there. So I see that you are very, very engaged with our youth, and I would like to know where does that come from? How did you get started with that? What started that in you? Working with the youth.
No, that's a great question. Actually, I have I have two children. They are adults now, but, being able to first I want to recognize my mom first because she, as a single mom, I think that one of the best things that she ever did for us was figure out resources to make sure that all of our needs were actually taken care of, not just taken care of, but exceptionally well done. And so that meant that, if you can't put your children into a private school, figure out how to get them into the best school that is potentially available to them through whatever means necessary. And and she always, made sure that we understood, the work that it took to make it happen. So while we lived in North Philly, we lived in the Richard Allen Projects at the time, and I went to Spring Garden School, which was literally right next to where we lived. But the activism started early because they were petitioning. They were picketing outside the school to get rid of the principal because of some things that she had done that were inappropriate. And all the parents were out there. And I remember, and I grew up in a time when parents actually took the agency of their children very highly. Like they were involved in school, and they stayed involved, and they made sure that we saw them fighting for us. And I grew up in a neighborhood where, I lived in the projects. While I lived in the projects, it was not a place where children were not seen. Like, we were everywhere. we were everywhere. We were running around. We were active, and the adults were there, and they were active too. So there was never a time where I didn't feel like I was not important. I felt like I was important, and have the ability to speak up and speak out was important. But when that school experience didn't work, then my mom was like, okay, I got to put my kids into a school that makes sense. And we ended up going to the McCall School down at 6th and Delancey, which meant that I had to learn how to travel in the city. So in third grade, we're on SEPTA, because that's how we want to get to school. And because I had that access, I recognized what access could do for us if we know that there's a thing that can happen for us with that. So I started really trying to make sure that I create spaces as an adult for our youth to have access and to have understanding about what their access can provide to them. In fact, we just did a workshop with CareerLink 2 days ago. And it was on that workshop that we did at CareerLink was on career fit and confidence, because, we recognize that many people do not understand how to actually go about identifying and maintaining a career for themselves, because they're just looking for a job. And so we talked about what that fit looks like, the emotional impact of not really focusing on yourself and being honest about what your true desires and needs are, because that is how you get to your wealth. That is how you get to stay in places that feel good for you. So we designed, with UrbnSeek, we designed programming that specifically fits the needs of helping communities to become healthier. And we do that through a number of ways. And so it's through our youth. We do civic education with our youth. We go into the schools and do that. We've done podcasts where our kids actually interview people who are running for office, and they did the research, and they learned a lot about these folks so that they could make informed decisions. And we help make sure that our youth understand that they are the trusted voices in our community, because we show them how what they know and what they do has a major impact on the people around them.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Truly an activist. I looked up the word activist. You think you know what something means, but you just want to make sure. It says an individual who engages in deliberate, often sustained action to bring about social, political, economic, or environmental change. So that is definitely what you are doing. Definitely. I see what you are doing.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
That is good. So, Serita, I would like to know, with dealing with youth, I know a lot of times people kind of throw their hands up and kind of think, the youth of today is out of reach. They're, you can't do anything with them. But your dedication to stay in there, and that's deliberate and sustained dedication to stay in there and hang in there and work with the youth of today and pull them through. What I would like to know, what concerns you more about the youth, or what kind of I guess, a concern. What is the concern that you see more about our youth as someone who's working with them?
A concern that I see is that they diminish themselves often before the world will, because they don't feel safe. And if they don't feel safe, then they start to put on armor, and oftentimes it looks like they look angry. It looks like they just say, never mind. Often, like they will just start mumbling and say, never mind, because they feel like they don't matter and that nobody cares anyway. And so the concern is that they are like, they're hiding. They put on their hoodies and they put on their masks, and they do all that stuff so that they just become less. And I want to see them become very robust, and I want to see them open up. But it's not just their job to do. I know way too many adults who are not capable of handling that kind of stuff because they don't know how to socially regulate. They don't know how to do self-regulation for their emotions. And then our youth are learning those bad habits. And because they are learning bad habits, and they're learning from incomplete lessons from the adults that are teaching them, it puts them in a situation where they're just ill-informed, and they know that they want to learn things, but they're also embarrassed about the idea of how to learn and how to make themselves not feel vulnerable. So there's a lot of things that our children are just struggling with. But I also don't think that it's their job alone to figure out how to fix it, because they're kids. And if they didn't learn something the right way, then how are they supposed to figure out how to fix it? They're not going to do it alone. And if they do, they're going to be asking each other. And when they ask each other to answer these questions, they don't have the answer. And typically the critical thinking skills necessary for them to get to the right spot. That doesn't mean that all of our children are not capable of expanding beyond their current spaces, but it means that we as adults have a responsibility to step in and to create spaces that make them feel whole, that also make them feel like what they have to say is smart and important, and to help guide them to right answers, not by telling them what the answer is, but by truly giving them the tools so that they can feel empowered to really be there and to say, okay, I got this. Like, I want our kids to feel like they got it. I want the kids to feel like they're fine. And part of that is reminding them that they're children. And I have been in lots of rooms with kids of different ages, and I promise you, I will tell them in a heartbeat, you going to hear me call you my babies, the kids, and all that stuff. And I want you to know from the door, it is not because I do not see you. It is because I absolutely see you. And I know that in the world, they see you as Black men and Black women, and you are children. And you know, statistically, there's a study out that showed that Black boys are seen as Black men by the age of 10. Black men with the full expectation that they know everything and that they be prepared. And unfortunately, Black girls fare worse than Black boys because no Black child should be looked at as an adult. And when I say that they look at our children like they're adults by age 10, I'm not talking about people who are not in our community. I'm talking about globally. People are looking at our children like they are adults. Girls are seen as Black women by age 5, which sounds psychotic to me. But there's an expectation that our girls should be prepared to handle things, and our boys should be prepared to handle things that are way beyond their capacity of knowledge, the things that the tools that they should have, all that stuff. And so we have to change the way that the people in the world see us and see our children. And that means that we as Black adults have a responsibility to make sure that we are acknowledging that a child is a child and not saying you a child, stay in a child's place. Because if you don't know what a child's place is because the world treats you like you're grown, then you really still stuck. But if I give you love and consideration and value and I value you and I love on you about the things that you do know, and I help you to navigate the spaces that you don't understand at the age group that I should be, and not trying to turn you into an adult, then that's the job that I'm doing, is helping them to ease into being an adult at the timeline that's right and appropriate for them. So it's not just our kids. It's not just our kids' challenge. It's really us.
Yes, I can see that. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
I'm over here. I'm sorry. I feel like
you are. Look, I'm just giving you a couple of questions, and you are bringing it. You're bringing it in. I'm telling you, you are making this come alive, and that's the way it should be. I just don't want to ask questions, and you just answer the questions, but you are really putting value to the things that I'm asking, and I'm really appreciating. I'm getting something out of it as a grandmother, how I can, relate a little better to my children, my grandchildren. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad. Yeah. It's yeah.
Wow. Well, what was it specifically, maybe a moment that said to you, our youth need more. Our youth need more. Was it a specific moment that you can think of that you thought they need more? Did I lose you? Oh, I sound like I heard something hang up. Oh, I hope my phone didn't die. Well, we are here with Serita Lewis. I don't know what happened. It seemed like she dropped off. I hope she calls back in. We'll give her a minute. We'll give her a minute. Are you back?
No, my phone just shut off. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
My apologies. I'm so sorry. I'm like,
that is okay. Yeah, my question was there a specific moment that made you say, our youth need more? You saw that they need more.
I can't say that there was one. You know what? Maybe there is. I feel like, well, I worked at the Wharton School for 19 years in the MBA admissions office. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like when I started working there, I got hired as a file clerk. I didn't even know what it was. And a friend of mine was like, oh, they're looking for a file clerk at the Wharton School, and you should apply. And I'm like, okay. Well, I got the job, and then I got informed. Because once again, like when you don't know what kind of access provides you in the world, you're not prepared for it. And after I started working at Penn, at the University of Penn, I realized pretty early on, that whenever people would say where I worked at, they would say that I worked at the hospital. And because that's the point of context that folks had. Like they didn't even think about academia as a place where you would go. And the idea that the Wharton School is one of the top 5 business schools in the world was something that nobody knew or cared about. So the idea of understanding what an MBA is, didn't make any sense. So there was no understanding about the level of access that you could get through going through these different rungs of education. And then there were programs that are available for our youth to get prepared to go not only to college, but also to go to business school and other elevated degree programs. Our kids weren't getting access to the first part. And because I worked at Penn, I love doing volunteer work. I was on a committee to get grants to 2 of the high schools that were in West Philly. And one of the things that we were very adamant about was making sure that the grants were actually going to, the grants and scholarships were not only going to the students that the guidance counselor handpicked, but that we were able to find youth who could benefit from these tools and this money without the kids that the school liked, but that the kids who needed this, that may fall through the cracks, could get access to. And that was really hard. Like, it was really, really hard to get access to the kids because the school wasn't giving us access. And and I wanted to make sure that not just the hand-picked kids got access. The hand-picked children are going to be all right. But the children who just show up and do the best that they can, but it's hard because they don't have the support of the adults at home, or the adult at home might actually be illiterate and not be in a position to help them to do any of the things. I've met kids who, and I'm going to stop calling them kids, I've met children whose parents have literally sabotaged their opportunity to go to college. I'm not going to fill out your financial aid paperwork because you're not going to mess up my money, like things like that. Like even like a space of jealousy for their kids. And I knew that there had to be a way to connect our youth to opportunities. And so that's where I saw it first, because I was in a space where I could see what this further education could do, and I could also see the ability for everybody else to push our kids down. Like, our kids do not walk through college campuses and look at them as opportunities. They look at them as the way to get to their party or to school, or they're looking as a through point, but not as a destination. And so I don't think that everybody is meant to go to university. You don't have to. And in fact, I did not graduate from college. But it doesn't mean that the experience cannot be enriching in the ways that will help our youth, if that's the desired point. So both my daughters have gone to college and graduated. They've got their degrees, and they have really comfortable experiences outside, but there are other ways for our kids to be able to elevate themselves. And so I wanted to give them the access to whatever way, like wherever you want to get off the elevator, but I want you to see what's at the top. And you can pick what's comfortable for you. And when you are ready to elevate a little bit more, go to the next level, whatever. However, I want you to know that these things exist and that there are spaces and places for you to go so that you can move in the direction of your dreams. So I think it's working at 10 that did it. It was a long answer.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, you say your daughters are they've gone through college and they're already.
Yes, they both went to Temple University.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yep.
Oh, well, made me forget my question.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Because I'm hoping I'm not like asking it over and over again. But let me just ask you this: with the it's a lot of work and it can weigh on you. How did you balance being a mother and a public advocate?
Not well. Not well. I didn't. When my kids were younger, I don't think I did it well, because I don't think that my advocacy work stepped in until they were in college, actually. No, they were actually out of college when I actually went full on advocacy. My advocacy work actually stepped into full gear in 2018. I did do advocacy work with our youth most of their lives, but I also had to balance work with that. So it was work, and it was my kids, my children, and then also finding time for me. But it took a while for me to actually understand how to balance the work and balance my life. And actually, to be frank with you, I design programming that fits all the buckets of my life to ensure that I feel like I am balanced. So The program that I developed we're actually 1 full year into it being a live program with UrbnSeek. It's called Black Tea. And I designed Black Tea for me because I needed a self-care mechanism, and I needed a way for me to feel like I'm okay and to really build up the muscle around boundaries and self-care and what that looks like when the world isn't going to stop. And so what I like to say about Black Tea is that we're not going to fix anything for you, but you will breathe easier when you leave. And that's the intention, is to be able to make sure that you can just stop for a little bit and check in with yourself and feel like you can exhale a little bit here. And you can feel free to be comfortable here because the space is safe, and it's your safe space if you want it. You know, we don't force you to do anything, but we make it a vibe. So like whatever you step into and however you step into it, you're going to feel really good when you walk out. Because most people come into Black Tea tired. Like it doesn't even matter if it's first thing in the morning or if we do an event at 6 o'clock at night. Most people are coming in a little bit tired or overwhelmed, but when they leave, they feel better. And that's the intention. So I design all of the programs because they are things that I need. And yeah.
Well,
so that's that's it.
I just want to make a small correction. Sure. You said that you didn't think you did well or something like that.
Not with creating balance to time. I
just want to say that before you got to be the well-known public activist advocate that we know, there was something on the inside of you that was working it all the time, and it seemed like you may not have known. And you know, hindsight is 20/20. We can look back on things that we could do better. And for you to even admit that you didn't think you did a good job is showing that you did a good job. And that your daughter graduated college. So,
Thank you.
You know, like I said, before you were stamped with that name as a public activist, so you were doing it privately in your home, and I believe that. So, you know, I just want to make a small correction there.
Thank you for the correction. And you're right. Like, you know what? What I will say is that one of the most important things for me has been that, like, as my children have grown into the amazing women that they are, that one of the real commitments that I've had is to making sure that they didn't feel stunted. And so there's been very few times I think they've ever felt like they couldn't just tell me when things were not going good, you know. And so, like, they have for sure, like, jumped up with an intervention when they were in high school and when they were in middle school, like, Mom, what are you doing? And I was like, huh? And they would call me out on stuff, which allowed me to course correct as I went along. So while I felt like I was just taking on a lot of things, which means that I didn't feel like I was balancing as well as I could have, I at least had my children who were willing to, like, take the heat if there was going to be any and be like, you're not doing okay. You're not doing okay. And allow for me to be able to step back and see myself so that I could actually be a better mom for them.
Wow. Okay. That's wonderful. This may go along with one of the other questions, but the emotional cost of caring so deeply for a society, a community, for people, when you see the breakdowns, and I mean, I'm sure you see the joys too. You spoke about it, but what is the emotional cost of caring so deeply?
It's heavy. It's hard, actually. It's hard when you have an empathy for your community and a love for your community, and you see the mistreatment on such a high level, and it make you cry. Like, it will make you cry, and it will also make you be more of a staunch advocate and to just get militant about it. One of my best friends told me years ago, she said, I think you sleep with your fist balled up. Because, it just makes me so darn angry. But then I had to think about really, like, the real mission here is to be able to bring into this world some level of joy. And I think that for a while I was spending a lot of time on the side of why I was angry and why everything hurt. And then I had to start thinking about ways to not be angry all the time. And if I'm not going to be angry all the time, then I have to be thinking about what my personal revolution should look like. And my personal revolution looks very joyful. So, like, it just does. Like, every program that I do is meant to make you have fun. All of them. All of them. All of my programs. You should have fun if you're doing something with UrbnSeek. It shouldn't be a painful experience. It shouldn't be something where you're like, oh my gosh, really? We even have a program called Let's Play, because that's what you're supposed to do. And being able to advocate for joy and to fight for it meant that I needed to think about what is not just joy at a universal level, but I had to think about what joy is at a Black level. And I had to think about, and it's not that I ostracize anybody else, but I know my joy because I'm a Black woman. And so I will stand in my story so that I don't ever feel like I'm trying to be an avatar for somebody else's story. But as me, a Black woman, what I know about Black men, Black women, and Black children is that we are the youngest ethnic group in the world, because we were kidnapped and we were brought to this country, and we were actually required to remove every bastion of our culture, of our lineage, of our history and our stories. Our legacies were actually stolen from us, even as we were trying to create them. And so it is, and as such, like, even thinking about what our cultures are, we have systematically had those taken away from us in ways where people felt like they could assign to us whether or not Black joy was really Black joy. What's real Black music? What is real Black clothes? What is real Black hair? Like, all these, like, we had to ask permission from people for so long, because even if we were trying to define it for ourselves, they would then tell us that that's not true. And so for me, like, the first thing that I wanted to do was say, okay, but what is Black joy? And how do we define it? And let us not be apologetic about it, because it's ours, and we don't have to wait for anybody else to say that it's okay. We know that Black joy is the way that it is because we fight for it daily. And we know that in all these things, that even in the hurt and pain that exists because being Black in the world, and I've traveled globally, so I'm going to say Black in the world, it means that everybody is having a very specific stereotype around what Black people are, but what they can't do is take away what our Black joy looks like, because they are always trying to replicate it. So I know that it is real and it is true. So my joy is my revolution, and it is the way that I choose to actually show up while there is a lot of pain, because of even right now dealing with the current administration taking down the stories of our history and saying that they're not true, and us having to once again put on our boxing gloves and do this big fight. We are still here and standing, and we have to do it and stand in our joy, because they can't take that from us. They can't take our music. They can't take our dance. They can't take those things from us. And so our revolution in my joy.
Wow. Well, I'm telling you, I'm just enjoying Hearing you talk, I tell you, I have three more questions, and
Okay.
because our time is coming up, and I don't even want it to end. I could just sit here and listen to you all day. You're a wealth of information. It just sounds like you just have, a lot, and it's really impactful and insightful.
Thank you.
How do you see yourself continuing the legacy of Black women who nurtured movements?
Oh, wow. The fact that you are even asking that question, I'm just like, I feel like I don't know that I deserve it yet. I don't think I deserve it yet, but I really, because I feel like I'm just proud to be Black. Like, I'm just proud to be a Black woman, and I am proud when I stand tall, and I feel like I am probably shorter than I look because I want to stand tall, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm ever apologizing for my Blackness. So now me moving the legacy forward is making sure that my daughters and my children and any child that comes in contact with me as my kid, just so that you know, that they all understand that there is something extremely important and regal about being Black in any time, in any time. Like whether you had a shackle on or a gnaw, you are actually a defining moment in the world, and everything that we do and the way that we move and the way that we are smooth with it, we are all making some really grand gestures just because we are. And so I'm just going to keep moving in the direction that I am with purpose, and intention and consistent learning, because I'm not ever going to stop learning. I'm not ever going to stop identifying a new way to actually show up for our community and to show up for people who are not in our community so that they really see us.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm just going to ask one more question because I want you to kind of take the rest of the minutes. But how do you want the community, what do you want the community to know about Black history, not just this month, but always?
It's constantly being made. Black history is a consistent thing. I think that we should stop looking on Sankofa, right? I think Sankofa is the best way to say it. To look to the past so that we can actually divine our future. And so I want us to be very specific about understanding where we came from so that we can chart a path that absolutely says who we are becoming. And there's so many beautiful things happening right now in the Black world, in the Black stratosphere, that we should not get stuck on the one thing. Just being able to say, all right, well, we have literally designed and perfected things in the world that people just were not prepared for. The only reason why we have refrigerated abilities to go from one side of the world to the other is because of a Black man. We got stoplights because of a Black man. We got the clothing dryer because of a Black person. We had the ability to have cataract surgery on a different level because of a Black woman. We got GPS because the list goes on. But then we also are in this really beautiful time right now of seeing not only things happen here in the United States, but on a global level. When you start thinking about what's happening in Burkina Faso, in Niger, and all these other places around the world where they have continued to say Africa is some small place with it's dirty and people don't know anything. And then you have the changes that are happening because that is where all the mineral rich things are, and that is where the wealth is. So us being able to see our current story and our current history and actually intentionally stepping in and getting closer to the continent, not for the sake of just of saying, oh, yeah, because I'm going to go and look at whatever, but really being intentional about, like, how can we create commerce between our two continents, and how can we actually start resetting ourselves by learning the languages that are actually in our soul and truly are part of our DNA, and starting to even enrich ourselves with the food stuff that is necessary for us to actually be our strongest, and to get away from, like, poisoning our bodies with things that are not good for us. Because who needs a Taki? I'm just saying. I'm not telling Taki that they can't sell, but they don't need to sell to us. We actually need to actually be more intentional about how we are moving in our world. And so that actually means reframing how we show up as Black people 365. So learn our history and talk about it and create new history and celebrate the people who are current entrepreneurs who are now going to be the next big thing that is global. Like, we are not just coming here to do things in our neighborhoods, but we need the support of our community so that we can become more than we currently are. And what we are right now is quite amazing.
Yes.
That's it. I know that we only have a few minutes. So I'm like, Serita, stop. So yeah, that's it. I want us to celebrate all of our wins. I am the biggest cheerleader for everybody in my circle. I love what you do. I love what this show does, and I love how y'all elevate and that you give back to give that gratitude and appreciation to God for how we're able to show up even when we're not at what we may not feel is our strongest, knowing that He got the plan, and all we got to do is sit back and listen to the mission and move in it. So if you see a Black business out here, or you see somebody that is Black that is doing their thing and they need your support, get in there, buy the ticket, show up. Don't just buy the ticket, but show up and share it and tell other people about what they're doing. And quite frankly, if you have a family member that is doing something, don't ignore their particular genius because you think that they're not supposed to do more. Just celebrate them, like support them. Because most oftentimes, I would say that in talking to my colleagues who are also entrepreneurs, they can never count on the people that they say they love. They can't count on their family to show up for them in the places that they need support with. They're not going to show up. They're going to tell you that you shouldn't be doing this. You need to get you a job. Why are you out here trying to do blah, blah, blah? Y'all should be the ones that step in, because if you ain't got no problem buying some Nikes and getting you some Louis Vuitton, none of those people care about you.
Right.
None of those people care about you, but you out here trying to create a status symbol with them. Create the next Black status symbol by buying Black, by showing up not just on Black History Month, but also showing up when it's not Black History Month, the shortest month in the year. You got 12 months to show up for us. Show up mightily. Spend your money with us, and insist that we show up as our best version of a business person.
Yes. I love it. Well, Serita, I'm telling you, I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased to have talked to you today, and what you have shared. I tell you, it's. I'm glad we have it recorded, so I can listen to it, and others will be able to listen to it, and hopefully we'll have you back when we have the live people on the phone, and you can pour into them some things you pour into us. But before we get off the line here, would you like to share something that's going on? With
Sure.
You? Okay.
Yeah, we're always doing stuff. So I actually, as I mentioned, Black tea is our newest product. It actually became a year old in December. On December 11th, we became a year with Black tea, and we actually started Black tea at elementary school, at Heston Elementary School here in West Philly, and the intention was to bring wellness to parents at the school. So we developed this program, and it has grown from being a program where we actually Black-centered conversation and tea and a multi-sensory experience. This entire year of 2026, we are celebrating our community members. So we're highlighting artists and people and organizations that are doing really cool things in the city. You're also highlighting their neighborhoods. So Black Tea is happening we're being served on Thursday, February 26th, and we are highlighting a artist here that's from South Philly. He is doing photography, and he's an amazing photographer, and his gift to the event is actually going to be providing headshots for the folks who attend. So the tickets for Black Tea are on Eventbrite, but I'll send you the link so that you can also share it with your colleagues if you'd like. But it is called Black Tea, Sip, and Shoot. And the intention behind it is to make sure that we hold space for y'all to come in and actually see who you really are. I think that a lot of people get uncomfortable being in front of cameras, and I do too. But the idea of being able to see yourself and the beauty that you are, it takes a little bit of stripping. And so come and hang out with us and have some Black Tea. We're going to be sharing some food, some wisdom, and we're going to make sure that you see yourself really well. So Black Tea, we're also on the 26th. On the 27th, we will be at the West Philadelphia Y, and at the West Philly Y, we will be hosting a workshop on Black Philly First, and we're focusing on West Philadelphia. So it will be Black West Philadelphia First. So that is from a historical perspective as well as global. So it is for everybody.
Okay. All right. And if we would like to reach you on social media.
Instagram. Yes, we are on Instagram, UrbnSeek, URBNSEEK. There's no A in it, so but you will note our logo because it's a very bright logo with a dark background. So UrbnSeek, you can find us there. And conversely, I'm on Instagram, Miss Serita MS_SERITA. And, we'd love to have you guys at a Black Tea. We're always looking for new artists to highlight. So if you'd like to be highlighted as an artist at a Black Tea, then, hit me up and let me know, and let's see what we can make happen. We're going to be doing it all year.
All right. Now, on the 26th, you said this is going to be at the Compton School?
No. The one on the 26th will actually be at, at Culture Works. It's on Walnut Street between 13th and Broad Street. And you can get your tickets on Eventbrite. It is so Black Teas are never large events, so we do not intend to actually have 60 people. We actually block off at 30, so the tickets are limited. So it's next Thursday, and the tickets are also very affordable because you can't go anywhere and get a headshot plus food for $35. So get in on it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Serita, I really appreciate you being here with us today. I have learned so much about you and your passion for what you do, and I continually and will be praying for you that you will continue to go on, and you're creating a real legacy here and opening up people's eyes and even showing them even ways that we can get more involved and can do things, especially for our children. So I thank you. I applaud you for that. Continue on doing the work. I pray for your strength. I pray for the finances. I pray for your safety as you travel around the world. And I thank you so much for being here today, enlightening us.
Well, gratitude and appreciation. And thank you and Jackie for always, showing up the way that y'all do. And I'm looking forward to reconnecting with you. And, of course, the prayers go up for all of y'all because, without God, we cannot sustain and we cannot continue to do the work that we have to do. So I'm really, really honored to be able to join you in this conversation. And thank you for inviting me to be here. Appreciate you.
Jimmy Soul. I ain't come here for no play. I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I came to win. I came to win again. We started something. I plan on finishing. Let's go. I came to win. I'm not here to lose. We started something. Now I'm gonna do what I came to do. I came to win. I came to win it again. Yeah. So I gotta give him 110. I gave him 110 and we won it all. So I'm giving 110 again. I'm coming back and with something to prove. They only giving 102. Playing like they ain't got nothing to lose. Frontin' like I can't stun on these dudes. I have a purpose, I'm still breathing. Lord knows could have been done off the flu. Mommy said God put me here for a reason. Light of my father got son in me too. Jimmy. He made me the shot and he told me I came here to win. This not a game and I do not pretend. There's no way I'm losing, I came in with him. I am not here for the play. The wise, the youngs, I came in with them. Molly and Maya, I'm playing for them. You praying for us, I'm praying you pray for the win. Let's get it. I came to win. Word. Again and again and again and again and again. I came to win again. I came to win again. We started something. I plan on finishing. I'm finna finish this race. I came to win. I came here to get it done. Yeah. I'm not here to lose. I'm not taking no L's. We started something. Now I'm gonna do Jimmy what I came to do. So I came to win. I came to win for my daughters. I came to win for my wife. So many lost in the darkness. I came to win them with light. I came to give them a word of life and power, not just a word of advice. I did not come for no shows. I came here for souls. I came here to win them for Christ. I am not here for the play. I came here with purpose. I'm on assignment. I am effective because I be seeking them first to stay in alignment. I know what they paying for, but I know the people I'm playing for. Everyone hearing these words right now, see y'all are the people I'm praying for. I came here for you, so you can recite the words in this hook. Cause I started winning again when I started speaking the words in the book. Look, I'm speaking the word. Satan be running from me cause I'm already covered. He's seeking who he could just smother. I'm keeping my brothers, see we gotta win for each other. I came to win. I came to win again. I came to win again. We started something. I plan on finishing. Oh, we gon' finish this. I came to win. I came to win souls. I'm not here to lose. I'm not here to lose nobody. We started something. Yeah. Now I'm gonna do. Let's do it. What I came to do.